Okay. Are we ready to get started, Martin?
I'm ready if you're ready. We have everybody that's supposed to be here is here. We're supposed to have a total of 26 people. 27, I mean. Are they all here?
I see 10.
I'm going to go ahead and just wait for the rest and just have everybody introduce themselves.
Yeah, we can do that. And I can work on our settings. Because you guys can't hear the music, can you?
Nope.
Not from here.
Now, can you hear it?
Yes.
Did everybody get to see the eclipse?
Everything but the totality.
Oh.
Big cloud came over.
Oh.
Cloud over Longview.
When it came in, I was doing some printing and I was outside the door and it was dark.
We can get started with introductions. How do you feel about that, Martin? You ready for introductions?
That's right.
Okay.
Emma start but I'm looking at from Miss Emma left or right, however way you want to go.
So please introduce yourself, your name, your congressional district, and how your eclipse was.
Here, I'll go ahead and kick things off for y'all. But I really wanted to say thank y'all for letting me hop on today. My name is Emma Pickering. I am in CD 37. I'm also the convention director for the Texas Democrats this year. And my eclipse viewing experience was great, except for right when it got to the big show. A cloud did decide to cover it up, but I did see it for like 5 seconds. So it was a pretty fun break in the hustle and bustle of convention planning right now. So yeah. Oh, and here, I'll pass. Oh, I was gonna popcorn it over to Alfred actually, so that works perfectly.
I'm Al Durante. I'm in CD1, and I am a member of the executive board of the Indigenous Peoples Caucus, and I had a pretty good day watching the eclipse again. Like I think a lot of Texans, unfortunately, at that crucial moment, a giant gray cloud came over, which made it even darker. I'll pass it on to Kristen.
Hello, my name is Kristen Hange. I'm in Congressional District 2, and I'm the secretary for the Indigenous Peoples Caucus. My eclipse viewing experience was very cloudy. I went outside with my kids and we saw nothing. My son, he thought he saw a ring at around the time that would have been totality, but I don't know if it was just our imagination. So I will popcorn it over to, let's see if we have any other officers. Leisha.
Thank you, Miss Kristen. My name is Leisha. I'm in the 38th district. I'm the communications chair for the Indigenous Peoples Caucus. We were entirely cloudy. We had no sun. We had no sun out here in Houston at all, which is super disappointing. But I did see some pictures and it looked really cool. but I'm just living vicariously through people who are posting stuff online.
Who do you popcorn it to?
Thank you very much. I will popcorn it over to actually Julio Acosta, who was at our most recent executive committee meeting. Thank you very much for joining us. And I hope, well, I believe we are going to have a fruitful partnership. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Julio Acosta, pronouns he, él, from Dallas. I'm the secretary for the Texas Progressive Caucus. Happy to be here. And I'm in District 32, Dallas, and eclipse viewing. Thankfully for us, there was a little bit of clouds where I live, but it was actually really clear. And it was really, really amazing, the totality for like 3 minutes. So I felt very, very blessed. I will popcorn it over to Martin.
Thank you, Julio. My name is Martin Sainz. I am the events coordinator for the Indigenous Peoples Caucus, and I am in Congressional District 6. And like I said earlier, my clips viewing, I actually was at Office Depot doing some printing. I was actually working and getting some stuff, and I looked outside through the door, and that place where I'm at, it was totally in the dark. I thought it was nighttime again, but no, it wasn't. And I'm going to go ahead and popcorn it to Dr. Ana Perez.
Okay, well, I'm in El Paso, Texas, so you tell me which congressional district I'm in. The eclipse viewing was 85% here. So I went to El Paso Community College. They had a lot of students with telescopes and different activities there for all of the public. And so it was quite an experience and I enjoyed it. And I'm tired because I was out there just about, 4 hours. Thank you. So who has not had a turn? How about Philip Reese?
Thank you, and I appreciate it. And I, will be looking forward to seeing you in El Paso here shortly. My name is Philip Reese. I'm on the Indigenous Caucus Bylaws Committee. I'm also the one of the three co-founders for the Progressive Hispanic Democrats, which was formed in 2004. I'm in Congressional District 27, and let me see. I used to be a county chair for over 25 years for Caldwell County, and I'm going to popcorn it over to Otilia Enriquez. Otilia?
Hold on. Okay. My name is Otilia Enriquez. I too am Progressive Hispanic Democrats co-chair. I'm in Congressional District 25. And as to the eclipse, we had breaks in the cloud, so we were able to see the eclipse. And luckily, our next door neighbor came over and she said, well, we got some glasses for you. Just a few hours before that. And I was like, oh, perfect. So it worked out. It was breathtaking, seeing everything turn dark, listening to the birds just quiet down and settle in, and just like a light switch, everything turned off and then it came back on. So that was pretty amazing. I noticed that someone said they were from El Paso. I believe that's Congressional District 16. And I'll pivot over to who else has not gone. Barbara, have you gone yet? Justice?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I am Barbara Justice, Congressional District 8. I am the events coordinator for San Jacinto County. And I was in beautiful Cold Spring with a lot of rain. It got very dark, but it was cloudy. So did not see the eclipse. So I'm living vicariously through relatives who sent pictures who saw, totality.
Who do you popcorn it to, Barbara?
Let me see. What about Donald?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, guys. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm sorry. I've never used Zoom on my phone, and I'm not real technical, but my name is Donald Sapolio, and I used to be very active in the Democratic Party until recently. My wife was ill, and my son's a judge here in Harris County, so I want to get very active, and I've joined this group some time ago, but it's the first opportunity I had to attend a meeting. So, and I won't be here in April 21st. I'll be in London, but I'm looking forward to pitching in and do whatever I can when I get back.
Okay. Who would you popcorn it to, Donald?
Sir?
Who would you pass it down to? Who will be the next one? We still got some people who haven't introduced themselves.
Oh, I don't know anybody on here. I'm new. This is my first time. So if you ask me to introduce somebody else, I don't have a clue. I'm trying to get introduced myself.
Okay.
If that was your question.
Let's go ahead and pass it to Miss Taylor Trevino.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor. I'm the vice chair of the caucus. I'm in CD 35 in Austin, which also stretches down to San Antonio. And my eclipse viewing experience was awesome. I was at
We lost you, Taylor. Are you there, Taylor? Hello? All right. Sophia will be the next one.
Hi, my name's sorry. My name's Sophia. I'm a new member and my solar eclipse experience was great. I'm an indigenous spiritualist of my tribe, so I did a lot of praying by the fire and it went completely dark and it was a great experience.
You know what congressional district you in, and when you get it, go ahead and popcorn it to somebody else.
I'm in Congressional District 5 for Mesquite, Texas, and I will popcorn to Rojo.
Thank you, Sophia. Hey, everyone. My name is Rojo, he, they pronouns. I'm the chair of the Indigenous Peoples Caucus. I am located in Congressional District 25th by a very tiny little line. It only covers about 3 blocks of 25th here in Arlington because we love gerrymandering, or at least Republicans love gerrymandering. So I'll go ahead and pass it to, I did see someone's hand go up earlier. I wonder if they had a chance to go already. If not, Virginia McDavid, have you gone?
Yeah, we go ahead, Virginia McDavid.
Oh, did I accidentally put my hand up? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I just logged on. So we're doing introductions right now, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. You are next up to introduce yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Jenny Stauner McDavid. I reside in Houston. I'm in Congressional District 18. I've applied to be on the platform committee. I am a registered Chickasaw, and looking forward to meeting everyone in El Paso. So don't have much else to add. I've been active in the party off and on last 30 years, and in some other progressive organizations as well. So thank you.
And last but not least, Michael Lee Pack.
Yeah, I'm Michael Lepak, Congressional District 11, San Angelo, Texas.
And how was your eclipse viewing today, sir?
My eclipse viewing was online. I actually missed the event, but I've been watching the event online all day.
Awesome. I think that's everybody. Is that correct, Ms. Kristen?
Yes, sir. Did we want to, Taylor, did you want to, I see you're back on. Did you want to finish?
Hi, yeah, I don't remember where I cut off. I'm in CD 35, got to see most of the eclipse despite the clouds. That was pretty much the gist of it.
Well, I think that's everybody. Okay. In behalf of Christian, Rojo, Taylor, Al, Alicia, I want to thank everybody for being here and let the party begin. Let's talk about the convention. Let's get partying. Want to go ahead and start, Kristen, or we want to pass it down to Miss Emma?
Yes, sir, we can get started. And I think, Emma, yes, if there's anything that you would like, you're welcome to have a moment to speak. I'm just going to get right into the steps that we can take to support changing a rule in the Texas Democratic Party's rules, and what we need to do as delegates to do that. So Emma, would you like to speak for a few minutes? And no pressure. If you didn't have anything prepared, you don't have to have anything prepared. You're welcome to also just answer questions if you'd like to.
Absolutely. I think that one for if anybody hopped on late, I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Emma Pickering. I'm the convention director for the TDP this year. And I'm really, really excited to be taking everybody to El Paso this June 6th through 8th. I'm hopping on today, one, just to kind of serve as a resource, because I know there are a lot of questions, being that this is the first convention we've done in El Paso in over 20 years. And I know there's a lot of logistical concerns about what that looks like. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of just hop on, answer any questions. I just want to let y'all know, one, right off the bat, if you haven't booked your hotel room yet, I suggest you do so as soon as possible. There are still hotel rooms available in the city of El Paso. I know that is a big concern that is being talked about right now, because for the first time in history, we have already sold out of all of our TDP hotel block rooms. This does not mean there are not hotel rooms downtown, but there are hotel rooms downtown. So if you haven't booked yet, I would book as soon as possible. And another thing, just kind of we're slowly rolling out our schedule, our tentative schedule for convention. And there is our first round on the website as of now. It's texasdemocraticconvention.com, and I'll drop that link in the chat as well. But I'm just here to hang out and answer any questions y'all have about what this convention is going to look like, since I know it is different for a lot of us on here.
Thank you, Emma. Yes, please find the chat if you can to find the convention link. And I've also dropped in the chat a link to join the Indigenous Peoples Caucus Slack channel. Okay. So the first steps that we need to take is becoming a delegate. And many of us have already filled out the form, the RSVP form for the Texas Democratic Party. And many of us have already attended our congressional district or county conventions. So many of us have already completed exactly what we need to complete. If you have not yet RSVP'd to attend the convention or express your interest in being a delegate, the txdem.co/convention RSVP is where you can sign up to register, or you can RSVP late for being a delegate. And depending on where you live, there may be plenty of seats open to be a delegate. In some rural places, there may be fewer seats left, but I highly encourage everyone who has not yet to RSVP to attend the state convention as a delegate. The next step we need to take is to file to be on the state convention permanent rules committee. And the reason why we want to do that is we want as many of our members on the rules committee of the state convention in order to make the rule change to add Indigenous Peoples Caucus to the SDEC. Has anybody here, and you guys can just raise your hands in the raise hand function. Has anybody here been on a committee before at a previous convention? I know Al and I had previously been on platform committee.
I saw that Dr. Ana Perez had her hand up and she's been in the committee. Is that correct, Dr. Ana Perez?
Yes, but that's many, many, many moons ago.
So this year things are being organized differently. The permanent rules committees are meeting prior to the convention. So that's a change for this year. But before the rules committees meet, there's going to also be a pre-convention caucus for your congressional district. So that's also new. If you remember at the Dallas convention, for those of you who had attended there, or any other previous convention, at the Senate district caucuses, we elected people to the permanent rules committees at the convention. But this year that's happening by an electronic form prior to the convention. So you need to attend your congressional district pre-convention caucus. And I know that I myself have not found my electronic notification of my pre-convention caucus. I do know when mine is. But if you do not know where yours is, you can contact either your Senate district chairs, or when you attended your congressional district county convention, you may have had a congressional district chair assigned at that convention. They may also have that information. So I would highly recommend contacting your local county parties or congressional or Senate district chairs. But you can also, I don't have it on here, but I do have it later in the slides. You can also contact help@texasdemocrats.org. Emma, if you can think of a better way that people can find that information, do you know where they might find that?
I feel like I always end up directing people to a website, but I feel like that's the best way to do it. The Texas Democratic Party has usually we kind of find it as a source of truth kind of information, which has all the county party chairs on it as well. So if you know which county you're from, you can contact your county chair using their email. Sometimes they give us their email, sometimes they give us their website, sometimes they give us their phone number, sometimes we have it all three. So you can contact them there. And if your county party does not have an up-to-date county chair listed there, or your county doesn't have a county chair, you should go to the help at. And it'll get sent to our party business advisor, Marco, and he will get back to you ASAP about where you can find that information.
Okay, and so we have these steps. Many of us have already become a state delegate. If you have not yet, you need to RSVP. We're asking everyone to file for the rules committee. and then to attend our Congressional District Preconvention Caucus. And so the dates for all of these, our Congressional District Preconvention Caucuses may meet anywhere between April 4th and April 27th. So you need to find that information if you do not yet have it already. And there you will hear from other people running for different committees. And then there will be an electronic election for those committees. But on April 15th, there's also a deadline to RSVP to be a delegate. And then on April 21st, so April 21st is our next general membership meeting. So you're welcome to please share our general membership meeting information with your local parties to see if we can recruit more people to attend the convention. April 26th is the filing deadline to get on the permanent committees at the convention. Our next steps, if you're elected to the Permanent Rules Committee, you're going to meet prior to the convention. And then you want to attend the Texas Democratic Party Convention in El Paso, because even if you don't make it on the Permanent Rules Committee as a delegate, all the delegates still vote on the reports that are made from the committees, as well as other things that are voted on. And then everybody needs to attend the Indigenous Peoples Caucus meeting at the state convention. Andre Triber created a delegate guide that you can find at txdem.co/delegate guide. And that has a lot of really useful information. I was able to update some of our dates, thankfully, because I sent out an email recently that had the range of the pre-caucus meetings a little bit late into May, but so the updated dates are April 27th. Let's see, our pre-caucus meeting is April 4th to April 27th. And then after the pre-caucus meetings, April 27th to the 30th is the electronic election for the state convention permanent committees. May 1st to June 2nd is the state convention permanent committees. It's when they work virtually on the report. So they'll meet by Zoom. And so for the rules committee, you'd be making edits to the rules, the state party rules, and then it gets sent to the state convention June 8th, where all of delegates vote to adopt it at the second general session. We have the dates of the convention are June 6th to 8th, which likely a lot of you know already. If you haven't seen the convention schedule yet, our Indigenous Peoples Caucus meeting will be June 7th at 7:30 a.m. And in that meeting, so a lot of other caucuses will be electing things like their officers or people that they're nominating as DNC member. We have 2 people that we've nominated so far as DNC member with our caucus, and that's Stephen Silva Brave and Leisha Abbey. So Stephen Silva Brave is he's out of Dallas, and he works with Democracy is Indigenous organization. And then Leisha Abbey is our communications director. Also on June 8th, you want to stay through the end of the convention. So last time, 2 years ago, they lost quorum because people left early. I know that there was some buses that were organized that ended up leaving at a time that So it's really important to, I go ahead and I book my hotel all the way through Sunday, so I don't have to worry. I can stay late Saturday night and get up and have plenty of time to get home Sunday. So definitely stay through to the end of the convention. You unless you're flying home late Saturday night, I would plan to travel home Sunday. So do we have any questions on like the steps that we need to take or any of the deadlines before we move on?
Yes, do you have a date for the Congressional District Preconvention Caucus?
So the dates will be between now and April 27th. And we don't have as a caucus all of the dates for all of the congressional districts.
So what you can do, Dr. Perez, is whoever your congressional district chair is, or whatever congressional district you are in right now, or go through your senatorial district chair, ask them who is the congressional district chair for the pre-convention, and they can actually tell you what time or call for you to call them, so they can tell you can ask them that question, because the only ones that we know is the ones for our particular congressional districts. Like mine is Congressional District 6, and we're meeting next Saturday. So we're going to do ours already next Saturday. And I know some have already started working on getting theirs done. So for that right now, that's the only one a lot of us do know. I know I checked on 33. 33 has not scheduled theirs yet. And I don't know about all the other congressional districts. Philip, do you know what's your date yet for your congressional district?
I have not had a chance to look, but I do not know at this time. Thank you.
Yeah, because that's the only way we'll know when all the congressional districts are. You should be getting an email or something from there, from your congressional district chair, letting you know if yours is going to be virtual or it's going to be in person. Ours is going to be virtual because District 6 represents 6 or 7 different counties. We got Cherokee County, from Cherokee County all the way down to Euless, I think it is. So we got a big stretch in that area. That includes also Tarrant County. So right now, that's what we're looking at. I don't know when the Congressional District 25 is meeting either, or all these other congressional districts that we don't know yet. And okay, let me go ahead and send it back to Kristen. Sorry about that, Kristen.
That's all right. If anybody else here is in CD2, ours is April 23rd, 6:30 p.m. at Lone Star College in Kingwood, Texas, room CL 112. Let's say you miss your pre-convention caucus. You can still file to be on the electronic election ballot. So as long as you file, you should be in the clear. Is that correct, Emma?
Sorry, my thing was not unmuting. That is my understanding of it as well. I don't want to say anything wrong though. Party business is not my main source of thing. So if you do have any really distinct questions, I would shoot over a question to the help at, because then Marco can go into the rules all about it. But the change has been really hard on me too. So it's not just confusing for y'all. The switch to congressional districts has been confusing for everybody.
I dropped the help at txdemocrats.org in the chat for anybody who needs it. Martin?
Emma, correct me if I'm wrong, there will be ballots sent out from April 27th through, and they got to be turned back in on April the 30th. Is that correct, virtually? That's what I read somewhere.
I don't want to answer your question wrong, so I will ask Marco and get back to you on that.
Philip, do you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question for the benefit of the whole group. Number one, can a party provide a layout of the convention center? For example, when we've been in Houston or Dallas or Corpus, it'd be helpful if we had a layout. For example, we might be in our basement room 6C, located behind the janitor's closet, and we have to go to the Democratic Women's Caucus. They're going to be on the rooftop on the northwest corner of the fourth building. We need a map. We
Yeah,
definitely need a
absolutely.
map so we can have at least people can understand can propose a route to get from one place to another. In the
So-
past, the party has, for example, had rooms that there was no way you could get from one room to the other room it'll take at least 20 to 35 minutes to get from one side of the convention center to the other. The second thing is we need to prepare for any possible opposition to anybody out there who refuses to have the Indigenous Peoples Caucus to be added to the state executive committee. We need to find out who they are and prepare, because we've had situations where certain groups will pop up at the last minute and say, we don't want the Indigenous People Caucus to be added to the party. So we need to find out who they are, opposition groups. Thank you.
Okay, I can actually answer your first one, Philip. One, we will have a map that goes up later. It's a whole process to make because it's not something that we have to create our own map and it's a whole thing. But two, also to that point, the El Paso Convention Center is drastically smaller than every other convention center we've been in the past 20 years. I'm talking about 1/5 the size of Dallas, Houston, everything. There are a total of 11 meeting rooms total in the convention center, and they are all on the same floor except for one. They are all right next to each other. And it's also right in smack dab on one side to the other of the expo hall. So everything is literally within the same space. So it is not as confusing and will not take you as long to get from one thing to another. Also, between each of the congressional caucuses meetings, not the constituency caucuses, unfortunately, but between every congressional district caucus, there'll be 15 minutes of travel time to try to avoid any backlog in the hallways. So folks will have time to travel between one thing and the next. So we're really working to make sure that that's not an issue, because that was a lot of feedback that I got when I started this job in August. So
I do have a question for you, Miss Emma. Is there a reason why, I know where we've got all these hotels that we are booking and all this stuff, and they have conference rooms? Why can't we use any of those conference rooms for TDP meetings?
well, it comes down, there's a lot of different factors to it. One is accessibility. When these El Paso, there's no connected hotel to the El Paso Convention Center, like there was in Dallas and Houston, stuff like that. So it would require some folks to travel pretty far off site to get to, a conference room, something like that, which is not something that a lot of people can do. And so that was something that's a barrier there. So I tried to limit anything we did off site. Two, it also comes down to safety too. It's kind of hard to control who comes in and out of those meetings if it's not a TDP ran building. But since we're leasing out a space for a weekend, we can control who is coming in and out of that area, keep everybody safe, and make sure that the only people entering are those folks with badges. So it's a little bit of a logistical nightmare, honestly, to have a bunch of meetings going on off site in different hotels that are a couple blocks away from each other that folks wouldn't be able to get to and from.
Okay, it was just a thought. Since I thought the Marriott was just across the street from the hotel room, from the convention center.
Yeah.
Just go across the street to, and I'm staying at the Marriott. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's just across the street from the convention center.
Well, I appreciate the feedback, and I'll definitely take it over to the team. We're really just trying to make sure that everything stays on site for everybody's safety, and so to make sure everybody knows where everything is. I think when you're coming to the convention, you want it to all be there in that building, and that's something I really kind of scheduled out our pretty tight schedule to make sure we could do that this time. So yeah, but I'll keep that in my back pocket.
So
I
hey,
have a follow-
Martin.
I want to interject, Emma. I think the safety measures that you guys are taking are excellent and not outside of the realm of they're not unfounded, and so that's all.
Yeah, we I mean I think, and this is always a point that when I hop on these caucus meetings and stuff, there's always a question that comes up. You know, I work with a coalition of federal, state, local, and county emergency services for months at a time before convention leads up, and we develop a really strategic safety plan. And doing everything downtown in one spot allows me to keep everybody safe when I have a bunch of really high profile people coming in and out of a building. And there's also a baseball game going on right next door that weekend, both days. So there is just a lot of stuff that's going to be happening downtown that weekend. And I think that one thing that there's two really main people I got to keep safe that weekend. It's the attendees and the staff. So I can do that all in one vicinity. So I like to keep y'all all together.
I have
Philip.
follow-up question number one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Follow-up question is security. I understand that we're going to be all screened prior to entering the convention center for possible arms and things along that line. It's my understanding that since the Democratic Convention, they're going to probably search you for arms. If you're not armed, they'll probably issue a baseball bat, a club, or something along the line, because it is a Democratic Convention. No, but I'm kidding. But bear in mind, we're all going to be screened coming into the building. Registration is going to be between 7 and 9. Our first caucus start at 7:30. And you're saying that we're going to have some places we're going to require we have our security, our badges in place. I can see a logistical nightmare trying to clear security coming through in the building, trying to get your convention badge and make it to the caucus in time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a nightmare time-wise. Is there a party doing anything else to expedite that? And most likely it would help if you would pre-warn the delegates coming in that you're going to be screened. Number two, things that are going to be prohibited coming into the convention center. Things like that would be helpful for delegates.
Yeah, absolutely. So, oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
And last thing is, the state party has always had a heartburn. You can't bring stickers into convention centers because they charge you additional cleanup fee and everything else. And whoever sticker stuck on the wall, they'll want you to pay for the cleanup.
Well,
that's my last question.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that I think to curb that, we are, the big meetings that start at 7:30. It's on a Friday. We are opening the convention center Thursday at noon. So you can come, if you come in, you fly in that Thursday, we'll be open from noon to 6 that day. The expo hall will open at noon, and there's also, we haven't launched them yet. So this is y'all kind of, actually, I think y'all the first group I'm telling y'all this about. But we're going to be having some trainings that are happening on Thursday with some cool folks, some cool partners that y'all come learn from before y'all head off to the kickoff event that'll be happening at Paso Norte that night. So there is an opportunity to go there, to go early to grab your badge. That will make it a little bit of a breeze since y'all are hopping in at 7:30. Second thing is that when you're coming in and they're magging or you're walking to those security folks, we're gonna have a ton of different entrances. Yeah, the security, we can only start at 7, which I know that sounds like we're pushing it, but these people are really good at their jobs. And also I haven't finalized it yet. It's either 8 or 10 separate magging stations that you're going to be able to walk through. They're all going to be hand magged. It allows people to fly through a little bit faster. They'll be checking bags and stuff. So if you really want to limit the how long it takes, I recommend you bring in less stuff. There will be tote bags this year. So we have got that. So yeah, that'll be, I think that answers all of it. But yes, and you'll be able to go straight over to the Abraham Chavez Theater lobby area, and you'll get checked in. I really don't think it's gonna be that big of a hassle this year. We've really timed out what we're gonna be doing. So, but I appreciate, and if I do run into some trouble, Philip, you can tell me I told you so at convention, I promise. Thanks, Kristen.
Thanks, Emma. So I only have 1 or 2 slides left of importance before we get to the end, and if we could hold some of our questions till the end. But before we move on, what I'm going to show you guys next is, oops, see, this is like my last slide before we get to officers and then wrap up. But so before we move forward, I would like to give Taylor an opportunity to give an announcement on our progress on on working with a local tribe in El Paso um, to put together a land acknowledgement for the state convention. So go ahead, Taylor.
Hi, yeah, thank you. And yeah, I saw Dr. Ana Perez look up. I've been working with her, and thank you so much for communicating with me to get that up, and we still have some planning to do. But we're really excited to be able to present a land acknowledgement at this convention, especially since we'll be in the tribal lands of the Isleta del Sur Pueblo or Tigua tribe. So we'll be working with them to create the language for this land acknowledgement and hopefully have one of their tribal members come and deliver it to hopefully as many delegates as possible. I know we've got a tight schedule, so we need to figure out the timing still. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Dr. Perez, and TDP for working with us on this, and excited to to get this rolled out and planned.
Thank you, Taylor. And Ana Perez, if you would like to jump in, you're welcome to say something before I move on. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and move on if you didn't have anything to add.
Just to thank you.
Okay, so for folks who get on the rules committee, this is the rule that we're trying to amend. It is in Article, whoops, 7. And instead of reading this here, which is kind of awkward to read, I'm going to just show it to you. So the SDEC members and the committee composition, what this rule change is asking is to add us to this list. So it would say 2 from the Indigenous Peoples Caucus. So that's our goal here. This is our #1 goal. We do have like secondary and tertiary goals, which is supporting the resolution on Palestine and the caucus that has been working on that resolution, as well as working with the Progressive Caucus with the resolution that's been passed, or not passed yet, but there's a version of that resolution that they are supporting. But our primary goal this year has been to get representation on the executive committee. So at the last convention in Dallas, I remember there was a man who came in and announced that we had met, that was the 3rd meeting of the caucus at a state convention. And in the rules, it defines a caucus as a group that has met for at least 2 consecutive conventions. So in 2024, we will be meeting for a 4th time. So I think it's well within reason to ask to be added to the SDEC. Here's our officers, and if you would like to email us, the easiest way to get a hold of all of us is ipctxdems-officers@googlegroups.com. You can also find us on all social media platforms at IPCTXDems. And then we do have an events page on Mobilize, which is also IPCTXDems. And if anybody officers here would like to put their personal email in the chat, you're more than welcome to do that. So I think we've covered some of these frequently asked questions, like when is my pre-convention meeting? If you don't know, you can ask your SD chairs or your CD county convention CD chair or your county party chair. Or you can email help@txdemocrats.org. If you have not attended your CD county convention, you can still go to the state convention as long as you RSVP before that April deadline. And I believe that was April 15th. I'm just gonna double check. Oops. Yep, April 15th. And if you don't make the deadline, you can still go as a guest. So there's still the txdem.co/convention guest. So if you have any spouses or friends who want to come, but they're not quite ready to be a delegate, have them sign up at the /convention guest link. So takeaways, this is our checklist. Make sure you've RSVP'd to be a delegate, and make sure you've filed to be on the state convention permanent rules. When you go to the form, I'm going to show you really quick, because we've already had a member accidentally file for the wrong one. There's lots of dates on here of consequence, so definitely read this. There's DNC committee rules, and so you don't want this first one unless you do. If you're running for DNC member, you're more than welcome to select other options on this form, but the one that we are asking you to run for, if you only select one thing on this form, please select the State Convention Permanent Rules Committee. So you have to scroll all the way down to the whole list of them, and it's closer to the bottom than the top. Again, there's the help to ask questions of TDP, and then save the link for the delegate guide, and I highly encourage everyone to read it. It's really helpful. So Andre Triber put this out. I found it yesterday for our executive committee meeting, and so that was very helpful. I was able to update some of my dates before tonight. But that's all we have for tonight. So everyone is welcome to Emma, if there's any further thoughts you have, or if anybody has questions. I'm going to toss it to Emma real quick, and then we can open the floor for questions.
Yeah, I don't think I really have anything else. This is great. Thank y'all for inviting me. I did drop my email and then also the convention email in the chat. So if any questions come up later, and you don't really can't find the answer anywhere on the website or anything, shoot me over an email and I'm always happy to help. Me and the team are happy to figure anything out. I know how confusing this is. This process is not easy. It's not easy to go to convention. And it's the verbiage is weird. And my whole goal coming on to this convention was try to make it as streamlined as possible, and try to make it as easy for you to come way too far away to come hang out with us in El Paso. It's gonna be a fun little flight over, so you might even be on the flight with me. So it's gonna be good. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
So let me go ahead and add my 2 cents here too. I want to thank everybody that's here for coming, especially Emma and Dr. Ana Perez for help working with us to do the land acknowledgement. Hello, Stephen Silva Brave. Thank you for coming. Start. Do you have any questions, Stephen? Before we continue, would you like to introduce yourself first?
I'll just say hi. I'm driving right now. I just got off of work and I got to pick my son up. But yeah, hi everyone. I'm Stephen Silva Brave. I'm a member of the Sishagu Lakota Nation and a community organizer in the Native American community in Dallas. And yeah, just glad to be part of the Indigenous Peoples Caucus and glad to be able to be here. my schedule is always super crazy, so I don't know if I'll even be able to make it to the convention. I'm trying my best, but I just want to be in the loop in case I am able to make it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for even attempting to try to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, I want to finish off like kind of was going to say. Thank you for everybody. You know what, Rojo? Did you ever get to say anything as our chair?
Well, I think y'all did it. So thank you so much. Ultimately, I am very excited to see how everyone is putting their efforts towards this, and I do appreciate y'all so much. I feel like when we do land acknowledgements, we often miss that component of the labor acknowledgement because it didn't just appear, right? I think this party and really this organization and even the caucus takes time and dedication and care. So thank y'all so much for the effort you continuously put. I'll pass it to Al. I see your hand up.
Thanks. I just had a question. I'm not sure Emma's going to be able to answer it, but going back to the local CD conventions, you suggested we reach out to our chairs, our county chairs.
Yes.
How is word getting to our county? I mean, I assume they're the ones who should be, or at least our CD members should be organizing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, my thought process, I think largely is I know that the SDC members and the county chairs are working together to put these things together because they're having to mobilize a lot of the folks that are at their county convention. So it's a pretty strategic effort happening by Marco and co right now. I can't give you a really great answer because I'm in logistic land right now on in putting on a convention in another time zone. But I think from what I'm being read in right now, I think it's a lot of just kind of reading in and out of the SDC and county chairs, collaborating along with Marco. So I know that's probably not really what you wanted to hear, but
well, no, the reason I'm asking is that I did talk to my county chair.
Good. Okay. I will you're in Caldwell, right?
No, I'm in Longview.
Longview? Okay. I thought I heard somebody was in Caldwell. I'm from that area. I will talk to Marco.
I mean, it may have gone out. I didn't see it in a newsletter.
Okay.
But,
yeah. I'll see what's going on up there and maybe they can shoot you over an email tomorrow. But
okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I did have a question for you, Emma. I know that there's going to be a lot of caucuses that will not be able to meet at the convention. They're going to meet virtually. And I know TDP is going to do a lot of those meetings for a lot of the groups. I have one in particular, the LGBTQIA Hispanic Latino Caucus. We have not got word anything from you all when we're going to meet virtually, what date you all scheduled that for us. I know because it's going to be through TDP, and I know we already brought it up to Marco, but we have not got no information about that yet.
Okay, I'll bump it for him and see what we can get worked out. Once they get that scheduled up, it's most likely going to go live on the website too. So that's where we're going to be launching all those things at. But I will talk to him and see what we can do there.
All right, appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
With that, now one follow-up question on that. Sorry about that. Would that be considered like if you went to the convention since now we're having it virtually, for that prior to the convention? Because I know we already met in Dallas. So Dallas was our first meeting, and this was going to be our second meeting. But since we don't have enough space at the Sombrero there in El Paso, so I guess we're going to have to do it virtually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would count as an official convention meeting. It just would take place virtually. So folks will be able to do all their stuff there. I think when I talked to earlier about, how this is a lot smaller of a convention center, it has its blessings and its curses. One is the footprint's a lot smaller, but that also means I can hold less caucus meetings than I normally can. So if I could hold everyone, we'd be there for a whole week, truly. So it is like, it's actually pretty wild. But I think that like largely what we're going to do to prevent that is like we're going to have to host some of those virtually, but it'll still count. And if y'all do want to host like an event off site that weekend, we are encouraging folks to do that. If y'all want to like throw a fundraiser or stuff like that, there's a lot of really cool bars, really cool event spaces downtown. They're super excited. We're coming to El Paso and they're looking for places to highlight their businesses and highlight just El Paso culture in general. And they're always looking forward to hosting it.
Okay. And in regards to that, would you all put that as a event? If let's say we do decide to have one outside of the event venue, like let's say the Tejano Democrats, we're scheduling a pachanga there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what date it's going to be at, but are y'all going to be scheduling all those dates for all those different events going on around El Paso? Like,
so actually, great that you're bringing this up. So for the first time ever, with our official partners and official caucuses, and then also like caucuses we've always like had at conventions and stuff, if they are hosting an outside event and they tell me about it, and give me all the information, I will put it on the website. So it hasn't been done yet because it's pretty complicated. So they're all going to be uploaded on the website so folks can find them and they can go off site and hang out with those folks. But we weren't going to be helping out with the logistical side of any of those events just because of bandwidth. But we are happy to uplift the website for sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions for Ms. Emma or for anybody?
I just want to thank her for being here.
Thank y'all for having me. I love doing stuff like this. So it gets me out of my bubble. So I appreciate it.
I guess we're done, Miss Kristen. What do you think?
Diana, were you wanting to jump in and say something?
Yeah, I wanted to know if you set up a group rate for a hotel at anywhere.
Yes, so we had we opened our group rates for our hotels back in October, and for the first time in a very, very long time, like actually in TDP history, we've sold out of 5 hotel blocks in downtown El Paso. This is like a historic type thing. We've never done this before. It's over 1,000 hotel rooms. It's pretty crazy. But don't be alarmed. There are still a ton of hotels in downtown El Paso and in the airport area. We are rerouting buses. I'm working with the city of El Paso to increase buses and city transportation the weekend of convention. So there will be all kinds of bus lines going back and forth from convention, and there'll be an Uber and Lyft drop-off point. So that's a long way of saying, no, we do not have any more group rates, but there are still some affordable options out there that actually beat the TDP group rates. So I would go ahead and start trying to book those right now if you have. I know Progressive Caucus is getting Airbnbs, and I know a couple of folks are getting Airbnbs to split with groups. So if you're close with a bunch of folks in this caucus, or in your county party, or in your congressional or Senate district, I'm highly encouraging folks to room together. And there's some really cute and cool little houses that are in downtown that are going to be pretty fun, especially with the weekend like we got planned. So